Hey guys, welcome to another video. So here we've got some interesting questions, some expressions that we need to simplify. So let's simplify the first question, which is an exponential expression. So for the first question, we can see that we've got an exponent here where we can apply the product rule and in the denominator as well. So the product rule states that a to the power of m plus n is equals to a to the power of m times a to the power of n. So likewise, 3 to the power of x plus 2 should be 3 to the power of x, 3 to the power of 2. And similarly, 3 to the power of x plus 3 should be 3 to the power of x times 3 to the power of 3. So we can rewrite our exponential expression as 3 to the power of x times 3 to the power of x times 3 to the power of 2 all over 3 to the power of x times 3 to the power of 3. So you can see in the numerator, you've got 3 to the power of x, which is a common factor. So you can factor out 3 to the power of x. So you're left with 1 plus 3 to the power of 2. And then in the denominator, you don't have anything that you can factor out. So it's 3 to the power of x times 3 to the power of 3. So this term and that term cancels out. So this reduces to 1 plus 3 squared over 3 to the power of 3. And this is equals to 1 plus 9. And 3 to the power of 3 is 27. So this is equals to 10 over 27. Now let's have a look at the second question. In the second question, we've got a radical. This here is called a radical, and we are expected to simplify this. Let's see how we go about doing that. Now you'll notice under the radical, you've got like terms. This here and that they are like terms, so you can add them up. So you can say, you can just do it on the side, 0,06 y to the power of 4 plus 0,10 y to the power of 4. So you can just add this up. This will give you 0,16 y to the power of 4. So this whole thing can be reduced to 0,16 y to the power of 4. So we can write this as the square root of 0,16 times y to the power of 4. Now 0,16 can be written as 16 times 10 to the power of negative 2. So if you know how to write numbers in exponential form, you'll know that 0,16 is 16 times 10 to the power of negative 2. If you're still not sure, you can confirm this on your calculator. So this can be written as 16 times 10 to the power of negative 2 times y to the power of 4. But this square root can be written as to the power of 1 over 2. So that's 16 times 10 to the power of negative 2 times y to the power of 4 to the power of 1 over 2. So at this point, we can multiply 1 over 2 by all the terms inside the brackets. So this is the same as writing 16 to the power of half times 10 to the power of negative 2 times 1 over 2 times y to the power of 4 times 1 over 2. So square root of 16 is 4, and then negative 2, and that cancels out. So you're left with negative 1 here times y squared, because 2 goes into 4 twice. So this can be written as 4 over 10 times y squared. This can be reduced to 2 over 5 times y squared. Now let's have a look at the last question. And some of you might be discouraged because you see a lot of expressions there, but this question is quite straightforward. Let's do it. So already these terms here, you can reduce this, or you can simplify this using FOIL. So this is equals to 3, and then you can say x times x is x squared, and x times positive 3 is 3x, and then you multiply this minus 3x, and negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. Negative 9. Or if you want, you can also use difference of two squares to reduce that or to simplify that. And this here is minus x minus 1 to the whole squared. So this here then becomes x squared minus 9 minus, and if we expand this, we get x minus 1, x minus 1. So this here is 3 times x squared minus 9 minus x squared. You can use FOIL again. X times x is x squared, x times negative 1 is negative x, negative 1 times x is negative x, negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. So this here is equals to 3 x squared minus 9 minus, this is x squared minus 2x plus 1. So this is the same. Now you can just use distributive property here by multiplying. So this is 3x squared minus 27, and then again you can use distributive property here as well, but you should be careful because this negative can be seen as negative 1. So negative 1 times x squared is negative x squared, negative 1 times negative 2x is positive 2x, and negative 1 times positive 1 is negative 1. Now you can just add and subtract like terms, but what I like to do is I like to just highlight the terms that are alike. So the constants are alike here, and 2x is standing by itself. So 3x squared minus x squared is 2x squared plus 2x minus 28. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe and share the video, and leave a comment if you have any uncertainties. Thank you so much for watching.